Welcome to my unboxing of the FSP Aurum series, Aurum CM series, and I'll get to what that means in a moment. Gold 750 watt power supply. They have their W upside down. Actually, they intended for that to be an M, and I'll more on that after. Okay. Has a 5-year warranty. It is 80 plus gold, as you may or may not have been able to figure out by now. It features support for NVIDIA SLI. Remember, they do have to pay for that badge, so extra value add, having that certification for NVIDIA SLI technology. It has reliable performance, and here finally I'll have to tell you what the CM and what the M is for, cable management. So that is their way of saying that they do have a modular interface on this particular power supply. Why don't we go ahead and start the unboxing process with the removal of the plastic shrink wrap around the outside. Oh, the suspense. Ta-da! Oh, no, not ta-da yet. Okay, now we will remove the paper sleeve with all the fancy, shiny graphics and shiny NVIDIA logo and, ooh, look at that. Shiny FSP logo. Does that look shiny in the camera? Excellent, glad to hear it. Okay, next we have the black box that the power supply itself ships inside with a few different labeled compartments. So first we have our quick start guide, which is going to tell you probably pretty much what a power supply is and why you care. Yep, troubleshooting, installation of the power supply, and what your connectors all are. Okay, good, pretty basic stuff. All right, next we have, ooh, playtime. Actually, not only for people who play, this is for gamers and workstations. Remember, any high-quality, efficient power supply is going to be suitable for pretty much any application that needs high efficiency, high quality, and quiet. Because 80 plus gold gives you a few different advantages. One, it means you draw overall less power from the wall. Two, it means that you are producing less heat as waste when you are consuming an inordinate amount of power from your power supply, whether it's with a high-end gaming machine or a high-end workstation. And three, you are saving the environment because you are consuming less power to power your computer. Now these are interesting. I have never seen modular cables like this before, and I may never see modular cables like this again. These are very, very unique. Okay, we'll get to those in a minute because those are almost like the highlight of the show at this point. Those look cool. Okay, let's take this out. Let's leave this up here. Let's get rid of those, and then we're finally going to be left with only the things that are relevant on my table here to this Aurum CM series power supply. So let's start with the cables that are pre-attached on the power supply itself. And those are going to be your 24-pin connector. I don't object to this cable being pre-attached. Some people do, but I think that's just being fussy because you need it. Every computer needs an ATX main connector, period. So there you go. Next, we have two PCIe power connectors. These are both 6+2s. These I also don't object to them being pre-attached because anyone who's buying a 750 watt power supply probably has a graphics card. Okay, next we have a 4+4 pin connector and an 8-pin connector. I would have preferred to see one of these attached and the other as an optional cable, simply because most motherboards only require one of the two, but at least they've given you those options and you can always tie back the extra one like this in order to hide it in your case. The modular interface is right here, so it looks like we've got 4 peripheral modular cable slots and then one 8-pin. That would be for an additional 2 PCIe 6+2 pin connectors, which are likely there as a modular cable, and we'll get to those in just a moment. Let's have a look at the rest of the unit itself. This is my personal favorite paint finish. I don't know if I've ever said that in a video before in the past, but in my Silverstone TJ07, I've actually had this paint finish, which Mountain Mods, they call it, or they used to call it anyway, they call it Black Wrinkle, and it's kind of a textured powder coat finish that is extremely fingerprint resistant, extremely scratch resistant, and I think it looks just great. I hope the light is catching it okay, but you can see how it has kind of a different look to it. If you look at it from a different angle, the way it catches the light, just love it. It's a matte finish, but it has kind of a shininess to it. You can see there's an FSP logo there. It's going to look just great in any case. All right, on the back we have a power switch. we have our power plug, and they have kind of a unique arrows type design for the airflow that's coming out of the back of the unit. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It just looks kind of neat, okay? And then finally we have a 120mm fan in the bottom or top of the power supply, depending on how you choose to mount it. So you put it in this way, it's on the top. You put it in that way, it's on the bottom. It's going to depend on whether your case has ventilation through the bottom of the case for the fan itself. Alright, let's put the power supply down for a minute, and let's have a look at these here cables. These are awesome. Okay, so, as I suspected, these are for peripherals. So this guy right here is we have 2 SATA cables, 2 Molex cables, and 1 floppy connector, all on one cable. So you can see about how long it is. It looks like it's probably about 3 feet long, 3.5 feet long. Okay. Next we have 2 SATA connectors and 2 Molex connectors. So these first 2 are SATA and these next 2 are Molex. Okay, next we have dual Molex, rather 1 SATA and 1 Molex, sorry. And finally, oh no, not finally, not just yet. Oh, we have 3 SATA, that's good. I was looking for 1 native dedicated SATA cable, and that's really good to see because this is great for cable management. You throw this one over to where all your hard drives are. You take one of these combo SATA and Molex ones, you throw that up to your optical drive, there's your SATA, and then you run your Molex around behind your motherboard tray to plug in your fans or whatever else the case may be, and all of a sudden this modular power supply makes a lot more sense to me now that I've seen that we have 1 dedicated SATA cable. And finally we have that 8-pin to dual 6+ 2-pin power connectors. So that means you can install your second high-end graphics card in NVIDIA SLI mode. So now let's have a look at these cables themselves. So check this out. Okay, so here's how it works. Basically, we've got all of our cables, we've got some heat shrink, and then we have everything laid flat inside what appears to be almost like a thicker heat shrink. There you go. So this will be awesome for cable management because look how thin that is. That's like, here, I'll bring out my iPhone for comparison so you guys can see. But if you're running this behind your drive cages or behind your motherboard tray, even if you don't have a great high-end case that has a ton of room for managing cables behind it, I mean, I would almost take this, the native PCIe connectors and just tie them away somewhere, and I would run this up to my single graphics card if I was only running 1 graphics card because you're going to be able to manage it so well. I think that pretty much covers everything I wanted to say about the Aurum CM series Gold 750M, not watt, that is M for modular, or cable management. It actually comes with 3 Velcro ties, 3 other more different Velcro ties. Okay, so these ones these are super handy. I use these on my test bench all the time. You just run them through there, tie them up, there, Velcro, okay. And finally, a sticker that says Power by FSP. And last but not least, 4 thumb screws for plugging the power supply into your case. Thank you for checking out my unboxing. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other computer videos. Sorry guys, a couple more notes here that I didn't mention before. This is a quad rail power supply with each rail capable of providing up to 18 amps. And the 12-volt rails themselves are capable of providing almost the entire capacity of this power supply. So that's good because most modern systems are very 12-volt rail dependent. We've also got all of the Japanese-made capacitors are rated for up to 105 degrees Celsius. This is critical because if you're using capacitors that are rated at whatever they're rated at, but only at 30 degrees Celsius, 40 degrees Celsius, those are lower rated capacitors than ones that are rated for that performance at a high temperature. So it means no matter what happens with this power supply, it will actually perform according to its specification. Quiet and durable cooling, yeah, they mentioned that the 120mm fan is a fluid dynamic bearing fan. That makes a big difference, it will be quieter. And finally, last but not least, oh, that's kind of neat. FSP's own patented IC design allows you to, it allows it to make continuous adjustments according to the output load in order to achieve the best possible efficiency. So that's neat. So they've actually got their own custom chipset in this particular power supply that's going to optimize the efficiency according to what kind of loads you're pulling through it. So there, now I'm done.